So how did the Gelfling get their wings? That is what we'll be looking at on today's episode of The Dark Crystal Conjunction. Well, howdy y'all, and welcome to The Dark Crystal Conjunction, your YouTube dream space to nerd out about all things the Dark Crystal. Today's tale comes passed down the way much Gelfling history is passed down to us, through their oral tradition, which sometimes comes to us through song and sometimes through story. This time it's through story, and this tale comes from Creation Myths Volume 1. Nothing much more to say about it other than we do learn some interesting little lore bits as you can hear the story itself described. So with that, let's sit around the Gelfling campfire and listen to this tale of how the Gelfling maiden got her wings.
On a rare night of few stars and not a single sun giving glow to the horizon, a Gelfling traveler approached others banded at a cook fire. The enticing scent of roasting roots and savory herbs had drawn the limping stranger, who paused at the edge of the cook fire's glow to catch his breath and fix them with his hungry stare as if uncertain of his welcome. "Welcome, friend, not yet met," came a call from the fire as two of the Gelflings there rose to assist the stranger. "Are you wounded?" "Slightly," he whispered. "I encountered an Ardoof, too fresh from a kill to consider me prey, but crazed enough to shred my journey pack and waterskin before loping off to its den." The others shuddered at the thought of the feared predator. Eyes shifted over shoulders as they watched the horizon for any signs of the sharp-toothed jaw or plumed tail of the creature. "I would be in your debt if you could share your food and water. I'm afraid I have nothing to offer in exchange except stories." Gelfling faces around the cook fire brightened with anticipation. They had all heard each other's tales 3 times too many in their journey from here to there. A new tale would be a fresh delight. "Have you heard the tale of how the Gelfling maid got her wings?" The others had, but they all knew there was more than one telling of the tale. Perhaps this stranger's version would be different. "My name is Harley, and this is how I heard the tale from my mother's mother's mother, who said she was there to witness. I warn ye that the truth is darker than the pretty tales told to little girlings of how the first girl pulled a cloud from the sky and knitted it about her shoulders, or how a pretty lass touched her hands to the rock and made a wish for crystalline wings. There was once a Gelfling who lived at the far end of Gelfling lands. Her village had been plagued by dangers big and small, leaving the girl without her parents and other elders, but with very many children. Those children were too young to be wary of the dangers of the world, so the girl was forever chasing behind, snatching one from the Rakita's path and another from treacherous waters. As soon as she would wrangle one child, another would slip away to climb the hills or dash among the mounders. The maiden grew weak with fatigue as she labored to keep them safe. Worry crept around her shoulders, weighing her down as she made certain they remained well fed and as happy as they could be. When the oldest 2 were of an age to care for the youngsters, the maiden went to seek out the one being who could truly help her. Surely the Mother of Stones could offer assistance to a maiden so aged beyond her years. With a tearful reminder to keep safe, she left to seek out the chronicler of history, the frightful bringer of gifts, the most ancient of Thrall's creations, Aughra. Climbing peaks of stinging stone, fording waters with razored swimmers, crossing bleak deserts of burning sand, the maiden traversed her way to the observatory of Aughra. Gaunt from lack of food, her feet bloody and her tunic ragged and dirty from the journey, she approached Aughra and tried to speak to her with withered voice, but could make no sound. She gestured with crippled fingers, but could form no shapes. So she then pleaded with blinded eyes, all to call forth some sympathy from the distracted watcher of the celestial traces. While the maiden sought only to gain Aughra's help, the World Witch took 2 crag raptor feathers, and after waving them to the winds and skies, stabbed them deep into the girl's shoulders, piercing skin and sinew to the bone. The maiden's agony was severe. Crying tears of blood and fire, she tore at the crag-raptor's feathers, hoping to pull them from her flesh, but it was too late. The shafts took root, and she had wings. As her new wings spread forth, they brought fresh strength to her battered body. Stretching them wide, she could feel the energies of the crystal itself coursing through earth and bone to fill her with strength and health. Aughra had forged a connection between the maiden's blood and the very lifeblood of Thra that could never be severed. The maiden, now woman, flew home to her people. As she dropped from the sky, they readied stones to pelt the intruder before recognizing her as Clan. They marveled at her story and the wings that proved it true. From then on, the maiden with the wings was able to watch over them all. In time, she met a mate and had a daughter with wings, who had her own daughter with wings, and so on. When their sons took mates, those daughters were born with wings as well. So let us offer thanks to Aughra, whose eye keeps watch on us all, for her gift. And they did.
I hope you all enjoyed the story. I know I did. This time I had a guest reader who is my fiance, and I hope she can join me on many more future videos. I especially love the way she reads and does character voices. So let me all know what you think. Leave your comments down. Ask any questions you have about wings. We're pretty much done with the series except for the Wall of Destiny, which I'll probably have next. Probably gonna not make a video for a week or two due to the holidays. But until that time, there's still plenty of time for you to keep exploring Thra.
So